Okay, so an hour and 15 minutes after having to sit in that chair, I didn't realise it would take so long with the bank manager. I got out and I was like, right, I'm clearly not right here, let's do something and get some help. So the first thing was I rang my doctor because I was supposed to have a meeting with him at 11, and I could see that the time was getting a bit tight for me to get there because it was half an hour drive away. So I rang him and said, look, I'm not feeling well. He was clearly a little bit distracted by him being so busy with his clients, and he was like, oh, we can book another appointment, and I was like, I don't want to get my diary out right now, I don't want to book another appointment, I don't want to think about that right now. So I was like, okay, yeah, well, I'll try and contact my husband and see if we can come today for my 11 o'clock appointment. So then I put the phone down to him and rang Robin, and I said, look Robin, I'm not good, can you come meet me in Saint-Giron, and maybe we can go to the doctors together. And he was like, okay, and he kind of dropped everything where he was working and came to meet me. And I remembered that I actually had some medication in the car, so I was like, okay, I'm going to take some lithium when I get back to the car. So I did. I decided to take, oh yeah, I haven't told you yet. So I realised that I'd actually forgotten to take my meds the night before. I was like, oh shit, I forgot to take my meds. That's why I'm feeling like this. It took the lid off too much. I didn't realise that I hadn't taken it. So that dawned on me, and I was like, okay. So I checked on my calendar to see whether I should be taking 600 or 400, and it was a 600 day that I missed, so I took 600 there and then. That was at about half past 10ish. So I had to wait about 10 minutes for Robin to come, my husband, and then we quickly and swiftly drove off half an hour to my doctor. We talked a bit in the car. He was starting to feel a little bit anxious. It's like, oh right, okay, this is starting again. And I was like, just stay calm, Robin. Stay calm. I know this is all a bit crazy, but we both need to try and stay calm. So I was still able to be a little bit rational. When we got to the doctor's, there was loads of people there, and we asked people, you know, what time was their appointment, and there were loads of people before me, so I was like, okay, well that's going to be at least 45 minutes wait, he's late, let's go outside and be on the bench kind of thing, and rather than sitting in this claustrophobic room with lots of people. So he was like, are you sure that's a good idea? And I was like, yeah, I've done it before, it's fine. So off we went and found a quiet place. And it was a metal bench that we sat on. And Robin was talking to me, and as I was sitting on the bench next to him, I could feel the vibration of his voice travelling up my spine from the bottom up. And I was like, I don't think I want to sit on this bench. It's just too effing weird. So I stood up, and oh yeah, on the way there I was also making contact with Emmanuel, the osteopath, but we ran out of what's it called? You know, when your phone doesn't work because you're in a blocked area, you don't have any signal. So I didn't have any signal, so I left him a message and said, look, I'll ring you when I get there. So anyway, I was able to talk to him again when we got to Mastazil, and I found a nice big fat plane tree in the car park and put my back up against it. as he was talking to me. So I'm feeling quite weird now. Especially in my lower abdomen. I can feel my voice down there. Anyway, yeah, and he was very reassuring. It was nice to hear his voice. One of the things he said to me, because I said at some point in the day I did actually get to look in a mirror, and I could see that my face was totally changed and anxious, very serious, very concerned, kind of small mouth, kind of a bit pale looking. And I was like, okay, so that's me right now, that's what everyone's seeing. And he said that you've got to not look at yourself from other people's perspective. You've got to experience yourself from inside you out and not think about how others might be perceiving you, which was a good point, and I did get that, and I think I'm reasonably good at doing that anyway. But you just become aware that you're walking around visually in a place that people aren't used to seeing you, or even if they don't know you, they can tell that you're not right. And he said, next time you look in the mirror, why don't you get a crayon, put a heart around... No, he didn't say that first. He said, write the word joie, because we're speaking in French. So joy is joie, J-O-I-E. And then put a heart around it and see how that changes things. And I didn't have a crayon on me when I went to the toilet in the doctor's, but I did it in my mind, and straight away it put a smile on my face. And I was like, yeah, thanks Emmanuel, another good tip there. And he said, I'd already found a tree, but he said, go into nature, put your back up against a tree or your front up against a tree, hug it, walk, and when you walk, notice every little sensation of your foot touching the ground and rooting down into the ground through your feet, really noticing your feet. At some point I kind of went to go and get some food from the car, and I did that as I was walking. I was really trying to notice my feet. So I think I need to go and definitely do that again after this video and go into nature. What else? Yeah, we had to wait 2.5 hours for the doctor, ridiculous amount of time. But when we got in there, it was worth waiting for. One of the things he did was hold my hands, which he'd done before. And at first I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to hold your hands. But I did, and at first my whole body was turned away from him, even though I was holding his hands. And it didn't take long, but I closed my eyes and just took on. I could feel his energy in my hands, and I could feel him fully in my hands, and it was able to calm. It really, really calmed me, and made me feel much more grounded. So through him, I was able to ground myself. And that felt really good. He took his hand away from mine to explain something, and yeah, I was able to focus more and really look him in the eye and things, concentrate on what he was saying. And at one point I put my hand on Robin's knee, and he said, it was so lovely, because even with connection that I was making towards him, I was able to really open up my body and be much more open and connected with my surroundings and with, you know, the two of them in the room. So that's, you know, for him that was a good sign that I could do that with my husband. But saying that, at the end of the meeting, saying goodbye, he was like, can I give you a hug? I was like, oh, not sure about that. And he was like, look, and he asked Robin, can I give you a hug? You know, it was a bit weird, I know, man to man, but you know, and they gave each other a hug to say, you know, this is okay, this can be normal, to really have that physical contact with someone, and even if you don't know them. Robin had never met him before. It was really nice seeing them hug. And then the doctor made a bit of a joke, you know, because Robin's got a beard, and the doctor's quite a bit shorter than Robin. So yeah, it's quite an amusing way to say goodbye. I didn't hug him. I left without hugging him, but that was all fine. It wasn't the right moment for me to do that. So, what time are we? 11 minutes. Okay, I'll do another one, hang on.